Right, good evening and welcome to KB Terrace Talk. This is David Besley's post-match review of the Plymouth Rotherham game. It's finished Plymouth Argyle 1, Rotherham United 0. It's another disappointing result, disappointing performance. I'm going to start with the penalty. It is 100% a penalty. Josh Ayres at the back post, he's been dragged back. It's clear to see. I knew it straight away. I've since seen a couple of replays, and it is definitely a penalty. And the most frustrating thing is the commentator actually said it. About 10 minutes later, when we were trying to attack, the ball got played into the box, and somewhere there were a foul in there, and I'm assuming the player who's gone down is hardly being touched. And you've got one decision which is a clear penalty. You've got another one that it's just two players jostling and a free kick's given, and it just sums up where football is today, really. No consistency. Now the referee might not have seen it, but the linesman definitely did see it. Why can't the linesman give it? It's literally right in front of him. So, yeah, disappointing, and that's probably cost us a point. Now then, on to the performance. Now, the performance overall wasn't actually disastrous. It wasn't too bad if you take the whole game into one kind of grouping. So it wasn't too bad. The first half, Rotherham started well. I thought for the first 30 minutes, they were looking more threatening, although I thought both teams were really poor. And Plymouth, they are, I've said it on a tweet, and I'm sorry to Plymouth fans, but I'm sorry, Plymouth are one of the most poorest teams I've ever seen at this level. And it wasn't to do with tactics as such. Every time you seem to get the ball, you're passing out of play. You can, even though you're on a bit of a run now, you can just tell the players just aren't confident. I don't know why. Maybe it's the manager, I don't know. But, Plymouth kept giving the ball back to Rotherham by kicking out of play or, a player miscontrolling. We had so many, chances to create something, do something. But every time in the first half we kind of got the ball, we slowed the game down. We played 2 or 3 passes, Plymouth would press, we'd knock it long. The second option was we'd play 2 or 3 passes, Plymouth would press, we'd pass back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had more touches than anyone in that first half. And what would he do? He'd knock it long. And, Dawson's kickings are horrendous as well. A lot of the time they were going out of play. They were going into the corners. They were going nowhere near Hugo. Absolutely nowhere near him. Martin were closer to any room. And honestly, did he not work on this in training? I don't know, just rolling the ball back to the goalkeeper and you're actually clearing the ball to our target man. I can't remember hardly again Hugo winning or losing many headers. Not at all. Because again, we're not playing to Hugo's strength. Yes, we've not created anything, we'll come on to that later. But there's no point having a Jordan Hugo on there if you're just not going to, play a ball into his chest, into his feet. I don't think we've played the ball into Jordan Hugo's feet once in that game. The substitution with Yearwood, I thought Yearwood was actually our better player. He did start a bit slowly, but he's not much fit. But when he got into it, I felt he was winning tackles. He kept sweeping up really well. There were a lot of times where we'd lost the ball in midfield or up front or on the wing, and he would win the ball back and get it back to the goalkeeper or wherever it might be. And then he gets brought off. Now, to be fair to Hampshire, possibly he's not fully fit, so I kind of accept that. But it did look a bit odd. How do you get fully fit? You get fully fit by playing the 90 minutes or playing as long as you can, not playing 45 minutes. So I'm annoyed at Hampshire for that. Second half, yes, it did look like Rotherham dominated the game. Just look at the stats. We've ended up like a 1.15 XG to their 0.9. I think they've literally had one attack or one shot all game and they've scored it. I was worried actually because leading up to the goal, I felt that last 15 minutes we became really open. So for the first 30 minutes of the first half, I felt we were in control of the game. we didn't create anything, but we at least controlled the game. Whereas the last 15 minutes, you could see we'd started to open up. There were gaps appearing, and I could almost see the goal coming because of that. So that is disappointing. And again, they've not put us under any pressure, Plymouth. Not one bit of pressure. They've literally had a 5-minute spell in that first half and they've scored from it. We need to do better defensively. I don't know if it's Richard Wood, Matt Amshaw, I don't know who it is who's responsible for the defence, but they have to be doing better. Are they coaching these players? I don't know. As I said, second half, it was improved, but I think it was more because Plymouth just dropped back and they basically said, come and break us down. And we were never going to break them down. A couple of hard attempts and half chances, and that was it, really. Not one clear-cut chance. Yes, we should have had a penalty. I agree, we should have had a penalty. But their keeper's not made a save in terms of tipping it wide or tipping it over. He's caught a couple and he's, the ball's been straight down his throat. But that's it. And we've had 10 or 11 corners in there. And again, didn't really look like scoring. Yes, Holmes has had one play off the line. Admittedly, it doesn't look like it goes into fair. It does look like it is clear off the line as well. Maybe Holmes should do better in that scenario. He's almost got a free header and an empty goal almost if he heads it more into that corner, but it is what it is. Yeah, we didn't really create anything, did we? So yeah, another really disappointing result, and I'm sick of this now. We are now 5 games unbeaten. Sorry, we have 5 games without a win. Sorry, not unbeaten. 5 games without a win. We had 2 games in this week where I felt we could pick up 6 points. We were playing 22nd in the league at the time and 23rd in the league, and we've not even scored a goal, and we've conceded 4. 1 we're at home, 1 away. No excuses. If he comes out and blames injuries, that is ridiculous. That set of squad, of the players who are playing today, the squad available, and the squad on Wednesday, yes, there are injuries, but those 2 squads were definitely capable of winning both of these games. So it has to stick with the manager. I've had enough now. I'm happy to keep Hampshire, but we aren't going to go up with Hampshire in charge. I think there's a chance we could go down. I really do think that. I don't know how far we're off the bottom 3 or bottom 4 now, but I think with Hampshire in charge, there's a real chance we could go down. I don't think we will, by the way, but I just think there's a real chance we could. And what a waste opportunity. Because people keep saying we've got a lot of quality in that squad and they'll all go over January or the summer months. So, yes, we're going to have to rebuild again, which I know we do every season anyway. And this is a wasted season. So, yeah, thanks, Matt Amshaw, for that. Thanks for wasted season. Anyway, I'll leave it there. It's finished Plymouth Argyle 1, Rotherham United 0. A very unhappy Miller here. And just lastly, I have to praise those fans that went down today. Absolutely sensational. I could hear you singing throughout the game as well. You deserve a lot more than that, really. So yeah, fair play to the fans that went down. I obviously didn't go down, but fair play to them. So yeah, it's Dave Besley for KB Terrace Talk. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the Miller's Monday podcast on Monday. Cheers, see ya.
Hi there, it's just Tom reporting on behalf of KB Terrace Talk, reacting to whatever that was today. Plymouth Argyle 1, Rotherham United 0. That was absolutely atrocious. They are undoubtedly the worst team we've played against this season. I think we started about 20 corners, did we? Probably not that many, but it's somewhere in that vicinity. That was awful. There's just no end product. And the substitutions are just odd. I'll speak about Plymouth first. They took the chance well at the end of the first half. King Rawls comes back to hunt us again. And then second half, they showed absolutely nothing, Plymouth. They were awful. They were there for the taking, just something. And we just couldn't put anything together. I will say their centre-half, I think Mitchell was it. He was absolutely colossal for them. I think without him, we win that game. Josh Ayres should have had a penalty. He was quite clearly tugged back. The ball didn't cross the line from the angle I've seen it. That goalkeeper, Connor Hazard, this goalkeeper's sitting down pretending to be injured when the momentum's all against them, has to stop. I get why they do it, but it's just absolutely frustrating when you're on the opposing team and you're losing. But overall today, that was not anywhere near the standard that we require to even get mid-table. That was awful today. That was so bad. God. Questions are going to have to be asked of the manager again now, I'm afraid. A couple of the substitutions he put on Sean Raggett in the 92nd minute, was it? Whatever. Then he brings on Jack Holmes in the 96th minute. What was that about? Also, I think there should be more than 7 minutes stoppage time, but probably could have played all day and not scored today. Feel sorry for the 350 odd fans that went down to that today. Plymouth's a long way away. I used to live there. But that was utterly horrendous, and questions need to start being asked. Why did we not get that striker, Watmore, in? Why did we not do that? And then he brought on Josh Ayres too late for me. I thought he should have brought him on bang on half time. I thought Coletta played well when he came on, and Dango, his usual self, played well. And the rest, it was just like, crap. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, follow for more Rotherham United updates. That was horrific today, and it has to get better, because if it doesn't get better, we're staring at that trapdoor again. Up the Millers.
Welcome to KB Terrace Talk, after match reaction. Yet another defeat to one of the shockingest sides in the division. Absolute awful side in Plymouth. Second bottom. We've played Blackpool in the week. So there's 2 teams in the bottom 4 we've played. We've got no points and 4 goals conceded and none scored. And we've only hit 2 on target today. And everybody's going on about we need a striker. Well, we need to start creating for a striker for the start. We've got the best midfield in League One and we can't create anything. The manager today has to take the blame. I mean, he's dropped Douglas to put in Holmes. I mean, what does that send out to a young player? Holmes' performance at Salford was the most embarrassing centre-half performance I think I've ever seen. His second-half performance at Blackpool wasn't much better, but that's warranted him a start. I just don't get the guy. I really do not get the guy. But our fan base, their standards are in the bin. They want to accept mid-table mediocrity. They think that a top 7 budget isn't good enough and he should be given the keys to the town and bloody sign anybody he wants. But yet the players he signs can't get in the team ahead of players that Evans signed. I mean, he even give one of Evans' players the captaincy. It tells you everything about Matt Hamshaw. His tactics are poor. The football is poor. The attendances are dropping. Coletta can only hang his head high after that second half performance. He needs to be starting soon. And Dan Gore, the rest of them I wouldn't pay him. There was absolutely crap, and I include Jordan Hugill in that today. I think it is just absolutely pathetic what we are putting out on that football pitch. But I blame it all on the manager. I blame the tactics on the manager. I blame the injuries on the manager, because he pointed that flipping idiot who's more bothered about his abs and running 3,000 miles a day rather than people getting injured. His gig contracts to Coyote, who's made out a bloody plasticine. So I blame Matt Hamshaw. We're 1 point better off than we was at this point last season. So you tell me where the improvement is of this football team, because I'm just not seeing it. Put your comments in, let me know if you agree with me. Most people that are happy clapping aren't going to agree with it. They're going to tell me that we've played well and we should have won. We should have had a penalty, by the way. That's an absolutely disgraceful bit of refereeing, to be fair. Absolutely pathetic. But other than that, we were crap.